Biracial people are saying that the majority of white people are racist. And by biracial, I mean one parent is black, the other parent is white. So they're spending a great deal of time around white people, and they're telling us their insights. Let's get into this one, but don't forget the...
Hype me up. Hype me
It's the
up.
beginning of the week. I need that. Straight up, man. I need it like a crackhead need a pipe. Let's get into it.
As a biracial person who's grown up their entire lives around black people and white people, let me tell you something. All white people, all of them racist. All of them. Especially the nice ones. Ooh.
Hey, remember the other day when I told y'all that they'll speak to you, help you, all kind of shit. And when you leave or when they leave, hop right on that phone and report a suspicious looking black person or a Mexican, whatever.
I mean the nice ones who will go out of their way for you. I'm talking about like you broke on the side of the road and they pull over and be like, hey, you need help changing that tire? Or the ones who will promote your business to every one of their friends, sell you out. They the ones that got a whole collection of blackface dolls in their grandmother's cabinet, china cabinet. So, they be so nice. They be there for you for everything.
You can tell she got you can tell she probably most likely has a black mother. And we will get into the difference between biracial people with black moms versus biracial people with black fathers.
We got the most racist ideologies and thoughts. And don't even know it, be in total denial too. I'm telling you.
Or maybe her mama just
listen,
cool.
Listen to somebody who knows, okay? That's one thing about the biracial experiences. We know. Some folks that don't know. You feel me? They ain't woken up yet. Sorry for the ones that's... I'm not one of them. Some folks still sleep, okay? All right? Some black folks still sleep. That's all right. I grew up with identity issues too. It took me a while to get here. Now that I'm here to tell you, they all racist.
I was having a back and forth with a biracial woman that I went to school with, and she was telling me how the majority of black people she knows are actually racist. And I was like, nah, you're a liar. And I could tell you're a liar because all of the white people that's in the pictures or that you follow, all of them got pet profile pictures. All of them got that cross, that evangelical, stuff all over their page, which is usually the telltale signs of somebody being racist, dog. I'm calling a spade. Anytime I've seen someone laugh at Iranian kids getting bombed or laugh at someone posting a historical documented event like lynchings or things of that nature, they're laughing at that stuff. It's always a cat or a dog in a profile picture, or a cross, or a police decal, Blue Lives Matter, something like that, dog. I'm telling you, every time I see that, I just know I'm dealing with a racist. But I want to read this comment right here. All right. Not only is she right, I think the lady's name is Allison Friedman, the lady who spoke out on the Zoom. This is why I ride for her. She said the quiet part out loud. And if you notice, she was not reprimanded. She was told that she could be heard if you pay attention to the video. Every white person with their jaw wide open put up a good appearance of being appalled. Notice the black people in the Zoom. This lady may have gotten to be in rooms due to her biracial status, but the Zoom video was not a shock to the black community. It only blows minds of the poor Allison. What in the hell? It blows my mind that poor Allison got canceled beyond. She was heard on a hot mic, but this biracial content creator is echoing what we already know in the black community. Speak your truth. Born and raised in Georgia. Yeah, bro. This is some crazy shit right here.
As a mixed person, my mom's white, my dad's black. Do y'all's white family just like say shit and just forget that you're in the room or that you're who you are and that you'd be offended by the fucking shit they say? Like, I just want to tell you. So, like, there was this person in my family, elderly person, my favorite person. Like, family reunions, I'd be, like, so excited to see, like, so funny, and loved me. Like, I know he did. But such a crazy thing to like rationalize, not even rationalize, try to rationalize or think through in your brain to find out that the person that was your favorite person told my papa, my grandpa, not when I was alive, this was before, I think, that he would rather his daughter come home in a casket than to bring home a black boy.
Ooh.
I'm the product of that. Like, how does that go in your brain? And then, so that was my papa's, that was my granny side of the family. This other person's my granny side of the family too, but, this one was more recently that they actually said this in front of me. So, I was graduating from X-ray school, and I needed my, my gown fitted, and I have a great aunt who does that. So my granny took me to her house to do that.
Great aunt.
And when we got finished with
right.
fitting me and like pinning it and all, sat in the living room with her and her husband. Her husband's the her actual brother. My aunt is by marriage, but still. They start talking about how somebody in her immediate family moved to an area that, and they were talking about it, and she's talking about how many black people live there, and like it's not a good school system because there's so many black people. I'm like, I'm in the room.
Hey, but you're not black to them. You're one of the different ones. You're family, right? You're not just like you're their black person. The rest of us, we not included in that number. They ain't gonna treat us the way they treat you. They don't look at us like how they look at you. You're one of them.
And I'm a youth to her. So I kept my mouth shut and I put my head down. The other youth that was in the building, I think he's my cousin. He was in the house. He just looked at me and put his head down. I don't think anybody but me, him, and my granny clocked it or even like thought about me in that moment. And I had just felt this is like a theme of my whole life. Like people it's just so fucked up to think you're family. Because it's like, they treat you like you're the okay kind.
Didn't I just say that?
And like you're not who you are. And it's like, it kind of invalidates your blackness in a way.
I know you ain't about to start.
In which I know I don't have to deal with the level of things that full African Americans do, or like people that can't, not pass, but you know what I mean. But there are still things that come with that, and I know there's colorism. I know it's just, there's a different set of issues, and I'm in no way trying to say that mine are worse in any type of way, but it's a different thing. I don't know. And then my papa told me that our neighbor, because I used to live with my grandparents and my mom, our neighbor, who was their neighbor before I was alive for like forever, like my mom and her siblings grew up with this neighbor's kids on the same street, so been in their lives however long.
More racist.
He told me after this man died, who was the neighbor, that he used to say the N-word around my papa all the time, or at least he tried to, and my papa had to shut him down and be like, don't talk like that around me, like that's. And I'm so grateful and thankful that my immediate family doesn't do that, has never done anything in that way to make me feel uncomfortable. It's
them cousins and them uncles. It's the people you don't see on a regular. It'd be the ones that you see around the holidays and stuff like that.
Outward sections of my family that do, but it's just, how do you deal with that?
I'd be surprised when people find out that
Honestly.
they racist. That's the crazy part.
It fucks me up sometimes, to be honest with you. Because it's like you think, because now when I'm looking at things through that lens, it's like, you're nice to me and you love me because I'm family, but if you saw me walking down the street and you didn't know me, you'd probably think the N-word in your head or something, or like that mixed breed or something crazy. Like, does anybody...
Hey, bro, listen, I was trying to tell a dude I know. Matter of fact, it's the same dude who I showed y'all the DM with. Me and him was having a back and forth or whatever. I told him, I was like, bro, them people only mess with you. But if it was anybody who's black that they don't know, they would treat them in a racist manner. And I know you got to sit up there and listen to all the racist jokes and do that nervous laugh, that chuckle when you offended, but you can't show them that you're offended because you're going to look weak, you know. Because, you know, this is why right here. This is why. They be like, Will, you just sensitive. Nah, this is why.
I'm black and I didn't get offended. Yeah, we know, weak link. Weak ass bitch. We can smell that shit on you, weak ass.
That's why right there, bro.
I didn't really realize how racist some people are until I'm in an all-white space and people don't realize that I'm mixed.
Oh, I've been loving the stories of the biracial black people who are more white passing than normal, because them people hear that uncut, unadulterated racism because white people think that they're amongst friends. They don't know they got a spy in the mix.
I have so many stories of growing up being biracial and white people just saying
she looks white.
Anything they wanted to say in front of me.
I hear racist stuff all the time.
He can pass.
It's time to expose. One time I was with this group of white people, and the girls were talking about this girl who had jungle fever. And this white girl goes, "Isn't it a shame to see our race mixing with another? What's going to happen to our white purity?"
About the time that a hate group was started at my high school called the NHRA. I'll let you guys try and guess what that stood for. And my friends were curious as to why I was completely pissed off because I'm not full black.
I am.
Imagine your white friends, or whatever they are to you, because I don't know if you can actually call them friends, but bro, you're not even all the way black. What you mad for? What? Boy, that's cold-blooded.
Mexican, full-blooded, and one time I was dating this guy.
Nah, you look mixed.
And his grandpa just moved to a different house, and he said, "Yeah, I grew up over here." And I'm like, "Oh, did you?" He's like, "Yeah, it's really different now." I'm like, "How so?" He's like, "Well, a lot of Mexicans and blacks live over here now."
I grew up in an extreme.
Hey, I won't touch on that, bro. In New Orleans, where I live, right, it was a predominantly white part of town back in the day. But you know how history has shown us, when black folks start moving to an area that's predominantly white, what do white people do? I'll give you 3 seconds to answer. If you said anything other than move, you're wrong. They move. It's called the white flight, whatever. Cool. Now, there's a group on Facebook called the Old New Orleans East. Old. And a number of white folks reminiscing from the 60s and 50s when they had it. And now they just get together and talk about how bad black people then destroyed their childhood residences and all that kind of stuff, dog. It really pisses me off, for the simple fact they act like it was done solely by black people, like the government didn't help all of these businesses move out of the city and basically opened up the door for them to fuck over us, but whatever.
Extremely racist part of Louisiana. For instance, when I was in beauty school, going to one of my friend's house, and her mom asking me, like, "Does it gross you out to touch N-words hair?"
Wow. I was at a pool party one time and this guy asked me, "What are you?" And I was like, "Well, I'm mixed." And he asked me with what? And I was like, "Black and white." And he was like, "So you're a half N-word." Then he like
shit out this man.
Turned to his wife and his whole family and was like, "Guys, guess what? Cole's a half N-word." And like everybody's laughing.
There was another time where I was at a
But Cole, what did you do? I know you had to put hands on him, hands and feet.
party, and the only other black person there left early. Right after he left, one of the white dudes there proceeded to say the N-word. Not even in a song or anything, just said it out loud. When I confronted him about it, he said, "What? He's not here anymore." Little did he know that I'm a double agent.
Right now, I look mixed as because my hair is done, but normally pretty white passing. If you worked in film before, you know like 11 hours is a normal day. A white passing Hispanic person had overheard one of the main actresses' distress cries to the director. Let's call the actress Biffany Babish. Miss Babish says, "My feet hurt, it's time to wrap." One more take. Miss Babish says, "Okay, well then you go and pay for my medical bills." And this white Hispanic had the audacity to say, "Ooh, I'm so glad we have Miss Babish to go ghetto on them." I said, "Ghetto?" She said, "Yeah, black."
Or talking about going to clean my car, and another friend's mom saying, "Oh, you gotta go get the N-words to clean it." N-words are so good at cleaning cars. They know how to clean cars so good. N-words, they're so good at cleaning.
He's like, "You don't want to live in a neighborhood that has a lot of Mexicans and blacks." And I said,
Clearly, this doesn't look like a white lady.
"You don't? Because why would you want to live in a neighborhood that has really good food and really awesome people?" My boyfriend at the time didn't say anything. Thanks, Kyle.
That's my problem.
There was another
I'm not
time where we were
quiet.
talking about an opposing basketball team. We were talking about why the team was so good, and somebody goes, "They're only good because they let all the charity cases on the team." There were no white people on this team. I'm sure I'm not the only white passing person with these kinds of stories. So
You're not, sir. I'm actively in the process of putting a compilation together, and you're helping me out tremendously. Thank you for your service.
White mom biracials. Let's talk.
Okay. Okay. We're going to skip this one. We're going to come back to this one.
My dad is black, my mom is white. I do not identify as a black woman. Also do not identify.
All right, I want to start it over for the people who didn't hear it in the back.
My dad is black, my mom is white.
My dad is black, my mom is white. Now, I want you to listen to the rhetoric and the things that come out of her mouth. Now, this is not for y'all to go hate on this lady and nothing like that. She didn't say nothing crazy. It's just the way she looks at herself.
I do not identify as a black woman. Also do not identify as a white woman. Actually identify as what I am, which is biracial. You ask some, being mixed doesn't even exist. Choosing to not identify as a black woman has nothing to do with not acknowledging who I am, and so much more to do with just my personal choice.
All right, guys. So basically, she says she doesn't identify as a black person or a white person. And you heard what she said. Black dad, white mom. I have seen a trend with that. Or actually, I'll repeat this. This is what I'll say. I've seen more white mom, black dad, biracial people who identify as white than they identify as black. That's what I'll say.
Been numerous times in my life where people just think I am a white girl. There is very few times where people have thought I was a black girl just by the way that I present. Again, I consider myself a mixed girl because that's what I am.
And she can pass
I
for white.
personally do not feel comfortable if you were to say to me, what are you? Because people do ask that question. I wouldn't feel right saying I'm black. This is not to be controversial, and I don't owe anyone an explanation, but I think this is a topic that could be talked about because a lot of people think that I'm white. I have not dealt with half of the BS that black women go through. I could straighten my hair, dye it blonde, and go on about my life and not have to deal with a lot of things that I know black women deal with. Not to say biracial people don't deal with our own shit, because that's literally why I started posting and talking about this stuff. But it's different. Gotta wash your face. I almost feel like a fraud to say I am a black woman when I don't know if this makes sense.
Yo, if she grew up with a black mother, she would absolutely think she was black, unless she had like a Candace Owens mother, you know, like that kind of shit. But if she grew up with a black woman, like a black woman, bro, she would not be on camera saying any of this stuff. I've met women who literally look like white women say that they're black because they have a black mom. And the mom was a light-skinned black, like lighter than me. And you know what happens when someone lighter than me has a child with a white person. That baby ain't gonna come out as dark as like my brother has biracial kids, and my brother is way darker than me, and his kids are mixed white and black, and they're just about as dark as me. You get what I'm saying? So even still with that black mom combination, they identify as black, and they will get on your ass if you try to tell them that they're not black.
It's never felt right to me, and it has nothing to do with not wanting to acknowledge my blackness. Sounds silly to say, but that's just my truth. It's the same way, there's many reasons, but I don't say the N-word. Never have, never will. It doesn't feel comfortable to me, and I don't say it. It's just never been a part of my vocabulary. So I'm curious if you are also mixed, biracial, black and white, or really anything. What do you identify as? And I always struggled with this, taking standardized tests and things like that, because it would always say black, white, and there was very rarely an opportunity for 2 or more races. This is not for pity. This is just for opening conversations, because I think it's a cool and important conversation to have, because I feel like not enough people talk about stuff like this.
Hey, I think it's pretty cool to say this though, like a biracial person like her, if she would have grew up in a house with a black mother playing the old music and cleaning up and soul food and we dancing, they playing cards, you know, they doing all kind of stuff like that, and you just growing up with the black experience, dog, you would never question what you are. You would always be like, I'm black, because it just was soaked into you. It got into you via osmosis. It was subconscious. You don't even realize that it happened, bro. Your mama playing Frankie Beverly Mays, cleaning the house and shit you getting your shit straightened with a hot comb. It's a cultural experience that you didn't get, and that's why you don't identify as black. I'm telling you, any biracial kid grow up under that regime, they gonna think they black, straight up. But let me show y'all this. You read this comment. All right. I think biracial kids that have a white mom and black dad don't get to truly experience their culture. They don't. On the flip side, black moms and white dads, those biracial kids are different, more cultured for sure. And as a black woman, as black women birthed a biracial kid, the kid would only identify as black. But this is an interesting topic for sure. Glad you felt comfortable to speak on it. Man, it's hard, man. Bro, I don't give a damn. If you'd had my mama and you was half white, you still would think you was black, because my mama blackity black. Real talk, bro.
White mom biracials. Let's talk about it. If you're ethnically biracial black, that means that you either have a white mom and a black dad, or you have a black mom and a white dad. And those
black mom, white dad combination for biracial kids are always the coolest kids ever, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. The ones that was, grew up white, bro, you might as well be dealing with a Karen most of the time.
Combinations mean totally different things, right? Societally, culturally, among the black community. One is perceived as very positive, and the other can be perceived as negative. If you're a black mom biracial, that typically means you were raised in the culture, you were raised to be respectful, you were raised to not center yourself among black people. The opposite is true. If you're called a white mom biracial, that oftentimes means that you do center yourself, that you're not accustomed to your culture, that you don't perceive yourself as black. Before we go further, I think it is important to note that this conversation of white mom versus black mom biracial is framed through motherhood, which is an inherently kind of misogynistic idea. It's this idea that mothers are the only one that sustain tradition and that the fathers are kind of just left out of this conversation.
Wait, hold on though. Like one time I heard Kevin Samuels say this, and I know a lot of y'all didn't like Kevin Samuels, but whatever. Kevin Samuels said the mother transfer culture, and I truly believe that because with my people that I know, they married ghetto, not even married, they got ghetto white pregnant, and those babies think they black. And I'm sorry to equate ghetto and black, but that's the unfortunate truth. His ghetto ass baby mama thinks that being black means being stereotypically ghetto, but now my family members who shall remain nameless, they're little biracial kids running around acting like the worst of the black community. But they, that's because they mom would think that's cool. But yeah, whatever.
I think it's just important to keep in mind. Let's start with black mom biracials, right? Zooming out from the children, I think we as a black community oftentimes prefer or preference this idea of a black woman being with a white man. It suggests that this white person is flouting kind of typical societal ideals and is respecting and relishing the idea of being with a powerful black woman. And I think part of the excitement there too is the idea or understanding that the children of that union will be raised by a black woman. So these mixed black biracial children will be raised by a woman who prioritizes their blackness and gets them comfortable with the idea of being black and involves them with the community and the history and the tradition and the ideals. And so that person isn't kind of tragic or stuck between worlds or kind of profiting from this biracial identity in a harmful way to the black community. And I think anecdotally, when we see these biracial black children with black mothers, they're typically raised very well. The moms themselves don't really mess up in these seismic ways.
And look, they're more confident in a good way. They're confident in a non-oppressive way. I've met biracial people who got the white mom situation, bro. A lot of them are racist as hell towards their black culture, but towards black people, and I've experienced that. I've never experienced a man or a woman who has a black mom and a white dad or anything not black be on some bullshit for the most part. They could be highly articulate, proper, and all of that good stuff, but they still just have that little bit of, when you see them in what's down with man, the one that wasn't raised like that'll be like, dude, what the fuck? Do I know him or something, bro? Why is he head nodding at me? You know what I'm saying?
The kids know how to do their hair. They are raised in the black community. They understand about their history and their traditions, and they identify themselves as black. I just think also the kids know who they are. There's less of this oh, I don't know where I fit in. I don't know what my racial identity is. There's less of that. There's more confidence in the idea of I'm black and I have a white parent. But also can't be forgotten is that when black women enter into interracial relationships and they know that they'll be having children, they typically choose partners who will be responsible interracial partners, right? A black woman,
not all the time,
anecdotally, of course, will pick a white partner who is going to help positively raise this black child, who will not contribute to anti-racist ideals or make that child feel weird or upset or sad about their blackness. Next, the white mom biracials, of which I am a member. Anecdotally and across this app and social media, we're very familiar with the idea of white women fetishizing black men and fetishizing this idea of having mixed babies. In these situations, these white mothers raise their biracial black children around white people, and they typically don't really kind of introduce them to the black community or black culture or black history or black ideals. And so these kids are fundamentally confused, right? They're ethnically, aesthetically, physically different than their mothers and the communities they're raised around, and then they slowly kind of absorb this anti-blackness rhetoric. In these situations where the white mom isn't steadfast and super responsible about raising her children, these kids are raised and internalize a lot of anti-blackness. They don't know how to do their hair. They don't know how to decenter themselves in situations around other Black people. And it is ultimately harmful to the child because like they do like lack this confidence in who they are. And they also have those like proverbial feelings of, oh, I'm so tragic, I don't know where I fit in. Factually, I am a white mom biracial. Like I was raised in a predominantly white situation with a white mother. And my parents were like very into colorblindness, which is like a story for another time, which was ultimately harmful to me. I didn't know how to do my hair. I didn't understand my identity. I was very confused. I like totally felt tragic about it. And it wasn't until college where I like learned about being Black and history and culture and literature and like was around other Black people where I was able to like unpack and do all of this unlearning.
Yep, y'all see it. Hey, bro. All I'm gonna say is, if you ever grew up in the hood and you got a partner that was mixed or whatever, like they grow up and act just like us. Or if you ever come across people who got the Black mom with the white dad combination, bro, they be normal, well-rounded, grounded people for the most part because that woman made sure that them kids knew who they was, man. And I don't find that to be the truth with a lot of white mom biracial kids, dog. It is what it is. Not to say that they lesser than, but it's just like the experience of being around them is not the same as being around someone who grew up. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Guys, that's the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you learned something, and I'm going to get at y'all on the next one. And don't forget to...